They both are really funny.
Good idea.
They just go with the flow. It's the Hershey and Keegs Show.
Welcome to Hershey and the Keegs Show, starring pitcher Mark Hirschman and his personal catcher, Mike Keegan. Every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live from the Governor's Comedy Club radio studio. Thanks so much for listening.
Oh, well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Tuesday night, 9 p.m. That means it's the Hershey and the Keegs Show.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, get them up, get them up, and get them out.
Get them out. Let's get you up and get you out, okay, motherfucker? Let's get you right the fuck out.
You're ready.
Ooh, it's a
My
good
kids
one.
are watching.
Jeez Louise.
Get them up and get them out.
That's
it. We have a good one tonight.
What do we have? Why is it a good show tonight? Tell us, Mike.
We have comedian, actor, a heartthrob.
Yes.
Heartthrob to the 75 and ups.
Yes.
One of our absolute best friends and favorite guests, friend of the show, comedian, actor, Chris Monty. How are you, buddy?
Hey, thank you, boys. Thanks for having me back. It's only been a couple of years. I'm back by popular demand.
Hey, our
Wow,
pleasure.
it was
Comedian,
time.
actor, problem
I think
trader.
I was here in 2020.
It was time. This doesn't happen that often, but, this is a show that offers comedy relief. We talk about relationships, our comedy careers, friendships, sports, but we don't very often have breaking news. As we were sitting here ready to go on to air, Tony kind of slid in pretty quick today, right? Like there wasn't a lot of time for chatter. Like we were chatting. I got an email, a text as we were sitting here from constant show contributor, talent producer, and also news updater that the great Willie Mays just died.
Oh my God!
Really?
We just got this news just this second. So for anyone watching, we're probably breaking it. I don't know if we got it before Associated Press.
I was
if we
listening
got
to
it
the
for-
fan on the way here. I didn't hear anything.
No, he died like this minute. He
Wow.
died.
Yeah,
We
because I was
went on-
listening to the Met game, and they would have said it. On there.
He literally just died.
You heard
So-
it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
So
Willie Mays.
say hey,
Hayes.
kid.
Yeah.
So let's make sure that we can validate
What is
that
it?
before, because there's probably thousands of people watching, and we're telling them. You got it also.
Skydiving accident.
He was skydiving. Yeah, he was skydiving. He didn't have his harness on correctly.
Come on, let's not disrespect
Yeah.
the Hall of
No.
Fame, all right?
You know what? I'm not old enough to say I've seen Willie Mays play other than video, obviously. I don't think anyone in this room is, right, Tony? We're the same age. Monty's about 8 or 9 years older, but you didn't see him play either. But I've
It
always
doesn't
said,
say he's dead on Google searches, so.
I've always said, from what I know and from what I've seen, and
He did those infomercials. That was Billy Mays. I'm sorry.
Billy Mays Hayes. That's right. I've always thought, just looking at, because I study baseball references, I'm sure we all have, the body of work of Willie Mays between home runs, RBIs, steals, batting average. We know what he's done defensively. That catch, the over the head, turn around, throw it to second base. Would you say that he's the top baseball player? If you had to pick one guy, what do you guys normally say when you have one guy to pick?
Of all time?
Yeah.
He's definitely in the top.
Right.
I mean,
But so who's
Hank
the top?
Aaron, you got to put in there,
I
right?
mean, do you say Babe Ruth? Do you say Willie Mays? Do you say Barry Bonds? Do you say
You
Hank
know, it's
Aaron?
funny because I had a discussion about that with Mike Yard.
Yeah.
who's a
Oh,
good
God.
friend of mine who I haven't talked to in a long time.
Hilarious.
But he would discount Ruth because Ruth didn't play against the best because African Americans weren't allowed to play, Hispanics weren't allowed to play.
Right.
So you're really not playing against the best. At least in Willie Mays' time, everybody was playing at
Right.
that point. So
Right.
there's so many you could put in there, but definitely one of the top
three
of all time.
Top
Correct.
three.
And they retired his number at Citi Field last
Number
year.
24,
'cause
yeah.
He played for the Mets till the end of his career, but still.
That's right. A true legend.
Because now that they're including the Negro League, I'm not. This isn't.
No, you're allowed to
No.
say that word. For one time, you're actually allowed to say the word, Mike.
And Hershey is officially canceled.
No,
Well,
now
I
that
mean,
they're
Keegs.
including the Negro League statistics, so
Yes.
Josh Gibson,
Right.
Statistically was the greatest baseball player of all time.
Okay.
But he was never in the conversation because he only played in the Negro Leagues. But I would say in the conversation, I would always go with like a Hank Aaron. Like Willie Mays is up there; he's in the conversation.
But what? So what was
No,
it?
top three.
Hank Aaron
Willie
was
Mays.
the leader of home runs up until Barry Bonds and the juiced
Yeah, but Barry
home runs.
Bonds is fugazi.
It's, yeah.
Leader of RBIs, I believe, was Hank Aaron.
Yeah.
But Willie Mays, and didn't he lose years to military as well? Willie Mays, I believe he did.
I believe.
He lost
I
to
believe
the military.
Tuskegee.
Yeah.
It's just we're always walking the line with Mike. Like you can't tell if it's going to be serious or not. But either way, thank you, Pig Vomit. You're a constant contributor and a source of good information, and in this case, sad information. And so we want to say rest in peace to the great Willie Mays, and hope that you're joined up there by. Who's up there?
Yeah, it's official. My brother just texted me 2 minutes ago. So
J-Mo sent the information. So he's up there with Hank Aaron. He's up there with who else is
Pete
up there?
Rose.
Pete Rose is up there. Pete Rose is up there.
Freddie Mercury.
Right.
Lenny Dykstra.
Correct.
Bernard Gilkey.
Right.
Bernard Gilkey.
Yeah. That's right.
He's up there with all those greats, all those great Mets.
But so we wanted to put that out there.
Mackie Sasser, he's right up there with all those great
Sasser.
Mets.
I think it's
Richie
significant.
Richie Byrne.
I think
rest in peace.
It's significant that Monty
penis.
is here today for that kind of moment. We didn't want to.
And you know what's so funny is I was actually contemplating. I was sitting home, and I'm actually slowly climbing back into the baseball season because I root for the Mets, and it's been a horrible couple of months. But now they're playing good ball.
Yeah, well,
and
typical fair weather Met fan.
And listen, I'm a diehard. You know that I watch every game no matter what. But I'm sick to my stomach over them, and I'm like, finally they're playing well, and I'm like, just play 500 balls so I can watch this summer and have some interest.
You're back in it.
And so my wife's like, oh, you're wearing that? Because I was in my baseball, shirt and hat. And I said, I should go there on my Mets. And I should have now. I didn't know Willie was going to die. You know.
Right.
But I switched. I changed out to a more normal Monty look.
You look, well, you look great. We're happy to have you.
The Mets are putting a lot of pieces together now with no pitching. They're
listen,
no pitching,
right, but their number one pitcher's been out for 2 months, right?
Right. And now they're going to go with the mantra of "Do it for Willie" because Willie played for them for 6 games in 1973.
He's really not a Met, though. He's really not a Met, but
But he played. He wore the blue and orange, or whatever the colors are now. What
was
the
it?
color?
2 seasons he was there, I think.
Yeah, it was towards the end. But
it was definitely the end.
What is with these fucking City Connect jerseys? Are they the most horrific looking?
Is every team doing them?
Well, the Yankees
except
would never,
the Yankees will never do it because they're classy. It's horrible.
Awful.
I was told you the other day. I watched the game on Saturday, and nothing ruins the game more for me, even though they won the game.
Yeah.
Than watching. I almost rather listen on the radio than watch them playing in purple and gray.
Yeah, it's like it's not even. You're not even watching the Mets. It's ridiculous.
No, it's like you're watching
the Colorado Rockies. Yeah. Every team is the Rockies.
It's horrible.
And what did they win? They won 1 game in those City Connect jerseys. That was the only game that they won.
If you eliminate, May and June, they're a pretty good team.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Well, allegedly, Willie Mays was watching the game of the day. He said, "I'll watch another one of these games with these jerseys over my dead body," and this is what happened here.
See
today.
what they did?
So,
I blame the City Connect jerseys.
Same thing. So rest in peace to great Willie. So what's going on, boys? I know that you had a busy weekend, my friend, Mr. Keegan. You were up. You had a road trip with Roach.
I was with our buddy Roach.
God love you.
Oh boy!
Did you drive together?
We drove together.
We'll drive together. That means you pick up Roach and he falls asleep. And
did you drive or he drove?
I drove.
He usually drives when I go.
He met me at my house,
really?
and I drove the rest of the way. And him and Carlos slept the entire way.
Yeah,
they were there
together.
Oh, when he snores in the car, it's brutal.
Yeah.
He was snoring.
That's amazing because he doesn't road trip with a CPAP.
Yep. I went on the road with him where we stayed in the same house, and you can hear him. I was on the second floor. He was below me, and shook my floor. You can hear that snore all night long.
Oh, so he didn't bring the breathing.
The first year we went on the road together, he did not bring it.
He was below
After
you?
that, he brought it.
He brought it, and it's nice and peaceful. It's like a white noise.
You don't hear it from your room, but you hear the snore from your room.
Yeah. I want to buy him like a travel CPAP. For
no, I think he's doing. No, I think he lost some weight and he's got the CPAP and he's doing good.
Yeah, but it was fun. We had a great show.
Where'd you guys work?
We were at that old York Cellars.
Oh, the old York Cellars, the
Helene
Helene
Angley show. Yeah,
great.
That's
show.
a great venue.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Roach is a fun guy to go on the road with.
Monty, you've been road tripping with him for 20 years, right? At least.
Roach was the first guy that I really took on the road, like to go, like, hey, let's do a week here, a week there, a week here, a week there. Back in before I met my wife, back in 2007, 2008, when I started doing North Carolina gigs and Delaware gigs and gigs and I said to Roach, he's like, I need some work and everything. I said, you want to come on the road and open? And he's like, yeah, I'll come on the road. And we had so much fun. There's so many stories, with that. One time he would drive when we went to the Outer Banks of North Carolina. We'd go there every summer. It was a summer gig, but you stayed at the club owner's house.
Okay.
So they had a big house with 3 spare bedrooms, and you'd stay there, and then they had a nice deck. and you can hang out on the deck. They had a hot tub on the deck, and 1 week they had 2 clubs going at the same time. So you go down there, you do 10 days. You do 5 days at the one club, then you'd have 2 days off, and then you do like 5 or 4 shows at the other club the following week.
Yeah.
But you were off on Saturdays and Sundays because in that area, people will come in and come out during the week, and the weekends where they were just either arriving or leaving, so nobody would come out to shows on the weekends, but they'd come out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Anyway, here's the house. Me, Roach, Kevin Downey Jr.
Oh my God.
That was staying in the house, in these people houses,
my
right? There wasn't enough liquor in the state of
gonna
North
say,
Carolina.
yeah.
So Roach gets on stage Wednesday night after we're at day 3, and he says to the audience, he says, I'm sorry if I look really exhausted, but I'm staying in a house full of comedians. And he goes, let me explain what that's like. It's like being in rehab and everybody decides to go off the wagon.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
But we had a lot of fun on the road, me and
What a
Roach.
crew that is.
Oh, it was crazy. We'd be every night, every morning we wake up so hungover, and we say we're not drinking tonight, we're not smoking cigars, whatever. You get back from the comedy club at midnight, and by 3 o'clock in the morning, we're all drunk in the hot tub with a cigar and a glass of whiskey. It was
naked, Downey's up blowing bubbles.
unbelievable.
I've always been fond of your relationship. I thought you've always had a very unique relationship with Roach. I actually have a picture that I had posted.
The one we kissed?
I want to see.
I know you're gonna look for it. Yes.
Hold on a second to see if this picture.
That's from the Christmas party from like 2011 or something, right?
Real?
Oh, that's real.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I took that picture.
My wife hates that picture, by the way. You always put it up, and she's like, "Tell Herschman to stop posting that picture." You can show it. I don't care. I'm not ashamed.
Yeah,
It's being shown.
It's up there.
Oh, okay. I can't see it.
It's,
I can't see it because his
No,
TV
we
is from.
need-
There we
it
go.
is.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So that was it was either the Christmas party or it was just like one random. We used to do jukebox Sundays. Here.
Sundays. It was every Sunday.
So
we
every
would do
Sunday
that.
night when Mark London and Ginny,
Ginny,
his wife Ginny, was still here.
Yeah.
They had, wherever you are, if you had any of the 3 clubs, come to Levittown after
Yes.
your show, and we're gonna have a little
Yeah.
soiree.
And
we would
Shaw
do-
would be
little
here.
It'd be the
and-
end of a long week because back then they were doing shows Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Oh,
Saturday.
yeah,
So Sunday
absolutely.
night, the show would end at like 9 o'clock because
Yeah.
it would start at 7 or something, and
That's
then
right.
we'd all come. They'd put out like wings and mozzarella sticks, and
Yeah.
we'd all throw money up for the bar.
Yeah,
and,
little jukebox party.
They had the jukebox
Yeah,
party,
little
and we'd
dancing.
listen to music, and that was when Roach isn't drinking like he used to. you
No,
know?
no.
He slowed down, but that's when Roach you can knock him back pretty good.
The beautiful thing so the Sunday nights, it's a little different nowadays. The shows run a little bit longer, but Ginny used to run the tight ship. So 8 o'clock show on a Sunday, it was
9:31
over. It was
off
over.
stage.
So you can go have a couple of drinks at the bar and still get home at a reasonable time. It wouldn't.
I mean,
be
I'd get home at midnight.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad, and
Yeah.
I was off on Monday because I'm a comic,
Yeah.
so it wasn't. For me,
Yeah.
it was like, all right, and I lived the
Yeah.
furthest away. I lived out in Central Queens, but we used to have a good time. But that was when Roach was a lot of
Yeah.
fun. And
He's still fun.
He's
but
still
that's-
fun, but he used to knock back.
There was no
Heinekens
tongues.
like I've never seen
No.
anything.
Oh, that guy.
I was right there in front of the picture. I
when
remember.
we used to get on the road, we'd pull into the town we were going to, whether it was Maryland, whether it was Outer Banks in North Carolina. We'd get into town. The first thing we would do is go to the supermarket and the liquor store because it was always cheaper on the road.
Yeah.
But we go because when you stayed at the houses, you'd have to. The guy was like, "Listen, you guys are welcome to stay here, rent free for the week, but you just cook your own food and clean up after yourself."
Right.
And that was the rule. And that was
That's
no,
it.
right.
Easy.
So we go to the supermarket. We buy cold cuts. We buy eggs. We buy everything we needed for the week.
Yeah.
And then we go to the liquor store and we would just totally like. You think that we were like, and it was like last Roach. Like he would go to a 12-pack a night. Easy.
It's been a while, and he's doing good. But I remember once he came. I don't know if you came with him, but he came over. We had one of our Levittown ghetto driveway hangouts, and Roach came over. We were hanging out with the Gleaners across the street. And I looked over, and he had 4 empty cans, and he had just sat down. I'm like, what happened here? Did you shotgun them? What'd you do?
He could suck him down, man.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
But we did a show. They had the morning radio show here with John Mulrooney.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
And we did a show, and John Mulrooney is a former cop, and now he's a cop again, actually,
Yeah,
up in
in
Albany.
Albany, yeah.
But he wanted to do a show where let's see who can hold their liquor the best.
Yeah.
So the show was from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. So it was me, Downey, and Roach, the guests.
Yeah.
And we had to start drinking at 6:30 and
Yeah.
stop drinking at 9:30, and then
Yeah.
he was going to breathalyze us and
Yeah.
see which one and who was
Genius.
acting the most. Right. So Downey and I were smart. So Downey came to me. Mark said, "Don't drive into that show. We're going to send cars to get you guys."
Yeah.
Downey came to my house because he lived near me in Queens at the time.
That's right.
And I got us ham and cheese egg sandwiches. Said we can't start drinking on an empty stomach. You got to put food.
Yeah.
So we had like egg sandwiches at like 6 in the morning. Car picked us up. We get here at 6:30, and Downey and I were just drinking straight whiskey with ice. That's
Right.
it. No
Just
soda.
Your
nothing.
usual daily drink.
Yeah, exactly. Roach was drinking Heinekens.
Roach showed up 6 beers deep.
No, we had to start when you got here so they could count, right?
Yeah.
Downey and I had about 8 or 9 whiskeys.
Yeah.
In that 2-hour span, Roach had 8 or 9 beers.
Yeah.
Roach blew a .06 and
wow.
was acting drunk as a skunk, like laughing and woo!
Well, .06 is below the limit, isn't it?
I think it's below the limit. Downey and I both blew like a .08.
Yeah.
Which he said you guys would have been arrested if you were driving. But
Yeah.
I actually won because Maroney was like, Monty looks like he hasn't had a drink yet.
Right.
You know?
That's right.
Daddy blew an .08.
Downey blew a FedEx driver.
That's right. Nothing to
Downey
do with the
Blue
competition at all. Nothing to do with the competition at all.
Yeah,
Nothing
baby.
to do.
Tip.
It would have been good.
Hold on, John. Tip.
If you guys would have done drag racing in the parking lot after that, would have been good.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
that
then
worked out.
thank God we got it. There's nothing worse than getting home at whatever it was, 11. Mark brought in food for us, like pizzas and stuff.
Oh,
we
good.
ate. He sent a car to take us home. Waking up at 4 in the afternoon, hungover.
Yeah, right.
On my couch.
Terrific. That's terrific. So you had a good time with Roach.
Yeah, Roach is fun,
Carla
man.
came along.
Carla came along for the ride. Yeah,
Did a little spot or no?
she didn't do a spot.
No? Okay.
She just came. I wanted her to meet Helene Angley.
Okay, good.
Because she's always looking for some hosts.
Isn't that
over
great
there.
when you got to bring your significant others to
Yeah.
into your gigs so she can get work?
Exactly.
I'm so glad I didn't marry a comic.
I know, right? Exactly. I'm like, I just wanted to bring her in to introduce her, but it's also a nice place.
Now you
with
know
a
why
nice
Peter
steak
Bales
dinner.
has a private number.
That's right. Exactly.
You know who also says that's so thankful they didn't marry a comic? Stacy. She says that.
That's his wife, by the
She
way.
said that. That's it for anyone who doesn't know. Yeah.
And it's true.
And what were you at this the weekend, Mr. Monty? Where were you? What were you working?
I had a Friday night canceled because of the month of June.
Oh, I forgot about
I was
that.
supposed to
That's
be in
right.
New Jersey on Friday night, but
Yeah.
they canceled. But the booker was generous enough to pay us a 50% pay.
Okay, good.
And then on Saturday night, I had a show at a private beach club on South Long
Oh, I
Island.
spoke to you before that.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. So it was like a private beach club.
That
but they
looked
had
really
their own
nice.
little thing.
That room.
You know what? They were really nice people. The crowd was really nice. It was like a members only thing, and
jackets. You mean?
yeah.
The women-
Black jacket
Actually, you
for
should
the
have because we were
wheelchair?
right on the water and it was breezy and they had they had high ceilings and they were open. So the manager goes, "What do you think of the room?" I go, great room to eat dinner in, not good for comedy." She goes, "What are you talking about?" I go, "An open roof at a beach." I go, "The laughs are going right up and nobody's gonna feel
Exactly.
like." But they turned out to be they had about 80 people. And,
Oh, that's a nice little weekend.
And it was me
Yeah.
and Maria Walsh and they had a great show. So
Yeah.
it was,
All right,
it was a lot of
beautiful.
fun.
Yeah, I think
Really
I'm
good.
in that room in August. I'm doing that.
And I had a breakfast show today. I did a breakfast show for the St. Pius Bethpage Senior Club.
Oh, it was wild.
10:45 in the morning till 11:30 in the morning. I tried doing comedy at 10:45 in the morning.
45 minutes.
They were great. They were great.
Street jokes. You just
Either
did
got a
street
standing
jokes?
ovation or a group of them had to pee. I don't know what it was.
No, they're a fun bunch. I've done some work for them.
Yeah, no,
they're on the old Grumman property, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
right next to
yeah.
where the studio was.
Yes.
Where the CBS studio was.
Yeah.
The seniors rec center or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They were fantastic. It was packed. There had to be 150 people
Oh, yeah.
there. And I've done it for years. Every year they have me, and every year I say, "Don't you want me to get you somebody else?" And they go, "We want you." And I go, "That's
'Cause they
wonderful."
forget.
Well, not
Yeah.
only that, but it's a whole different group of people.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? It's true. Do you say that? Because there's a handful of them I know. They always ask me how they know my children's names.
Yeah.
And then today they said, if you're a new member, introduce yourself. And that was about 15 minutes of new people because you get
Wow.
to a certain age.
So are you doing material? Are you doing street jokes the whole time?
No, I'm doing my act, and then I usually close with like 3 or 4 street jokes. They love
Yeah,
that. So
they love
yeah.
that,
But I
yeah.
basically can do my act for them because I'm not I cut out anything dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't have a lot of dirty.
No,
you know?
you're not dirty.
No.
You're not even blue. Light blue, baby blue, maybe.
I can be
Baby
blue.
blue.
When I
Perry-
do golf
Perry-
outings, I do golf
Periwinkle.
outings, I'm blue.
Yeah.
Because it's all men. And they
Right.
want
Call him,
dick
call him
jokes.
Periwinkle Chris.
Yes.
Were you
That was my
consider
nickname in college.
We the show we did for Wally's birthday. That was a golf club. That was
Yeah, that
The
was
one
a-
I missed when I was
Yeah.
getting.
Yes, yeah.
You filled in for me.
I
Thank
did,
you, by
yeah,
the
it was
way.
a great show.
So
It was
those of
fun.
you probably heard his name many, many times on the show. But Wally and
Yes.
Judy, they come to all my shows. They come to your shows. They come to Eric Half shows.
Yep.
He turned 95 this year.
95. We were all at his 90th surprise
His
party.
yep.
And
Well, it
then,
wasn't a surprise because
no, right.
you don't want to jump out at a 90-year-old.
And then we had hit 95th, and we were supposed to run it back with me, Haft, and Monty, but Monty came down with some sort of influenza or whatever it was.
I had an allergy
COVID.
attack, and I thought I was dying.
Oh, that's right. You had to go to the hospital, and you had
My
that
God.
was a disaster.
I had chest pains, throat pains, back pains, and
Yeah.
I didn't know what the hell it was. And the hospital's like, "There's nothing wrong with you. You're healthy as an ox."
It was the first thing I said when I went up there. I'm like, while he's here, he's 95 years old. Chris Monty couldn't make it because he had a tummy ache.
That's right. That's right. Because the pollen count was high.
Let me tell you, the pollen's been kicking my ass.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
still. It's
The cars are covered with
with it. I'm
the
and I'm not
grossness.
taking anything. Everybody's like, take a leg or take Claritin. That raises your blood pressure. I'm like, I don't want anything to mess
No,
up
you
my
don't want
drinking.
that. You don't want that.
Exactly.
You don't want that. Well, so I texted all three of you guys about something that happened to me this weekend, but I did not post it on Facebook purposely because I wanted to have it as material for today. So Saturday was Father's Day was Sunday. Saturday, I wanted to go to the racetrack. My old horse trainer, Mitch, had a couple of horses in, one which I thought was going to run well. So I said, you know what? All the kids were accounted for. Stacy's doing her own thing. I'm going to hop in the car, drive to Aqueduct, go into the paddock, watch Mitch run, hopefully get into the winner's circle, and it'll be great. As I get into the Aqueduct, I walk down the stairs into the owner's area, and who's walking upstairs but Mike Francesa? Okay, so
Your
of
old
course,
buddy.
my old buddy. So I see him, and I'm dressed nice. I'm not looking like a skeezer. I'm looking like
You got on the khakis and the golf shirt?
I'm wearing I'm dressed neatly. I have like a golf shirt on, pants, sunglasses. And I know that there's no question. I'm not looking to pat myself on the back or anything, but 30 years of calling the
You
guy.
were a regular on that show.
30 years of calling. The encounter I had with him in Saratoga where he requested me to come up to the
The
owner's
fight you
box.
had with him over maximum security getting
Exactly.
disqualified. I remember
So-
that. That was a heated conversation.
All I'm saying is this. He knows who Hersh from Valley Stream is. I'm not saying anything more than that, So he's walking up, I'm walking down, and I'm like, hey, Mike, what's up? It's Hersh from Valley Stream. He's like, how you doing? And he just keeps on walking past me. Just blows
You know
right
what?
past.
In his defense,
It killed me.
He was walking uphill.
He
was struggling enough.
He was walking upstairs, but I figured, at least like a, hey, Hersh, or...
Hey, Hersh,
Yeah.
what's up, buddy? How you doing?
It's not even...
10
exactly.
seconds. 10 seconds.
No,
of-
it was-
of-
it
But
was-
after dealing with you for 30 years, like
I guess
I
that's what
get
it
it.
was. But yeah, so this is the winner's circle picture of me and Mitch. So
Yeah.
long story
You know who's
short,
not in that picture?
Mike Francesa.
Mike Francesa.
And the horse that he was there for did not win. I went there to see a
Did
horse.
he have a horse
named-
running? One of
Yeah,
his?
I think he had a horse running in the race before Mitch did. And as Tony just posted over there's a horse that named Carriage Time, who I love. I went there to support Mitch, and me and Mitch took a picture in the winner's circle for the first time since probably 1999 together.
I didn't bet it because I
Yeah.
was shell shocked from betting on Mitch's horses for the
And
last 4
sometimes-
years.
Yeah, so
and
there
he
it
said,
is.
I really think the horse got a chance, and I was home watching the races. I actually watched this race, and I was rooting him in coming down the stretch, even though I didn't have it because Mitch is such a good guy. I want to
He's
see
a
him
great
win.
guy.
You had a
He's
couple
great guy.
shekels on it, Mark?
I did have some shekels on it, so I had some
You had a
money
nice
to my
day. You
pocket.
walked out of there ahead.
I just went for the race. I bet the race, won it, and left.
Smart.
That was it.
You know me. I would have had the horse wheeled.
You know
in,
what?
Like the daily doubles and everything.
You know what? I've been doing pretty well, and I have not been playing. I would say, my
periodically playing.
Yeah,
that's what I'm doing. Spot playing.
You know what it is? Like, now that Stabile's not at Naira anymore, I'm not there as much, and there's just not as much of a love for me for it lately. But that particular day, I just got in the car, battled the traffic on the belt, got there 15 minutes before I needed to, saw Francesa, watched the race. I called Mitch. Mitch was, usually Mitch doesn't really watch the races. Like, he kind of goes into hiding when he has a horse that's running. So I texted him after the horse won. I said, come to the winner's circle. Come on. It's been so many years.
yeah.
And he came in, and you saw the picture. We were up
Beautiful.
there together, and it was awesome. And
Yeah, I was bummed out, man. I got your text. To
Oh, I
go
texted-
there. You
yeah.
texted me to meet you there, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I wish I could, but that was when Roach
I
was
wish I would have
coming.
known. I would have came there too
Yeah.
because.
well, I thought you were going on Sunday. I thought you said.
It was, you know what? Sunday was going to be such a. I ran it by my wife, and she
Yeah.
started to give me the. Well, we're going to church, and I
Yeah.
was hoping that you'd do that with us. And I'm like, it's Father's Day. I'm sleeping in.
Right.
It's not even my church. I'm not Lutheran.
One of my church.
That's
you know?
right.
Anyway,
That's right.
my
Yeah,
church
so-
is Aqueduct.
Yeah.
So let's raise a glass to
Willie
Mitch
Mays.
Friedman and Willie Mays. And speaking of raising a glass, I don't know if you guys have a familiarity with this drink, but my kids and my wife got me a couple of shirts, and they got me a new pair of sneakers. But my favorite gift that they gave me was a large bottle of Martinelli's apple juice. Have you ever tasted Martinelli's
Is it
apple
alcohol
juice?
drink?
No, it's apple
Is
juice.
that the one that comes in like the little
Yeah.
glass? The Yo, that's the best. That's
Holy
the gold standard.
I haven't
Dude.
had that.
Can I just
gold
tell you
standard.
that it is I don't know how to describe it, but it is
It's
the
like
sweetest.
It's probably real apple
coldest-
juice.
It's
That's why.
like drinking an apple.
You're
It's
drinking
like
an apple, yeah.
What's
Well,
that
that's what you
good-
should be drinking when you're drinking apple juice.
Yeah. No, because
like-
I've had apple
I have a
juice that-
juicer at home, and I'll juice apples, I'll juice oranges, make orange juice,
Oh, do you
I'll make
really?
tomato juice.
Oh,
I add a little
wow.
carrot and ginger to it.
Nice.
Great,
Absolutely.
but I do it real, so there's no preservatives, nothing. You know, you're getting directly what you ask for.
This one, like my favorite apple is the Honey Crisp. It's like drinking a Honey Crisp apple. Those are good.
Put
Well,
vodka
you-
in that, Hersh. That'd probably be a
Ooh,
nice
there you
drink.
go.
So I have to tell you, the bottle,
A little Crown Royal
like
apple, maybe?
if I had to go into a fight and I needed a weapon, the Martinelli's bottle, this large glass bottle,
Yeah.
It's like a champagne bottle.
it's you could crush someone's skull in with
It's
this
like
thing.
a little
It's-
grenade.
No, no, the big one they got
Yeah,
me is
I know.
it's a tall, it's hard glass.
Yeah.
Like if you remember the old milk bottles, I mean, we're all old enough to remember when they would deliver
Oh.
milk to the house.
Well,
those
I don't know
bottles.
if we're old enough to remember when they delivered it to the house, but my
Yeah.
dad used to take the empty bottles
Yeah.
and return the empties.
Well, whatever.
When he went to the dairy barn, you drive them
Okay.
through, you give them to the guy, and he give you
those
fresh
glass
ones.
bottles,
Yeah.
you can crush someone's cranium
They
with
were
those
thick.
things.
They were thick glass.
So picture one of those bottles, loaded with fresh squeeze Martinelli's apple juice.
juice.
That's
and
the
it's
gold.
delicious.
It's the gold standard.
So that's what you got for Father's Day.
I got that. I got a pound of pistachio nuts. I got two
I got
t-shirts.
pistachios for Father's Day too.
Ah.
How great is
They
that?
must have went to Costco for those. Because at Stop and Shop, they're like $12
I
for a
think
little
mine went
bag.
from Target, but
I didn't get
they're
the pound.
delicious.
I
I
like
got the peel and eat, the big peanuts like you get at the ball game on the circus.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
the bag like that, my in-laws get me the bag like
Yeah.
that. But I always ask for unsalted, so it's a little bit healthier.
Yeah.
I'll eat them tonight when I go home. I'm sitting there watching late night TV.
Yeah.
And so I take my daughter to school, right, every day. And I know all the moms and dads now for the whole year. And so one of the moms, I become friendly with her and her husband, and the son and my daughter very close in school.
Yeah.
So anyway, she told me a few weeks back, she's like, oh, don't tell Ray, but I got him I got him Yankees, Red Sox, field level seats for Father's Day.
For Ray.
For her husband, when they
Yeah.
when they play the Red Sox at Yankee Stadium.
Right.
And I said, wow, that's what you got him for Father's Day? She goes, yeah. I said, I think I'm getting slippers. That's what my wife
I know, right? I'm like,
But you
I got
love.
slippers.
I'm like,
Right.
Carla's got to step her game up. I'm like,
I got slippers and a book to read to my kids at night.
Right.
It's a
Here's
bad
the
book
thing,
about
though.
called My Dad.
If you were 28 like Ray is,
No, Ray's 40.
I'm gonna say, I mean, honestly, slippers is about right. I
No,
mean,
and you know what? The slippers are beautiful, and it says Dad Life on them. Dad on one, Life on the
wow.
other.
That's
They're very,
amazing.
very expensive, comfortable slippers.
Yeah.
And she also got me a pair of new sandals that didn't come yet. Amazon says they were shipped today.
Oh, beautiful.
they were ordered yesterday.
Yeah, no,
I bought myself some. People keep on telling me that the in shoe to get is something called Hey Dudes. You ever hear these
I've
things
seen
called
the
Hey
commercials.
I
Dudes?
see them on
Yeah.
TikTok.
So I bought myself a pair of Hey Dudes because we're going to Fort Lauderdale in a few weeks. So I wanted to kind
Where's
of
the Fort Lauderdale in the summer when it's 112 degrees
I-
every day?
maniac.
I-
Gotta go in February.
There
like-
was no reservations available at the Equator, so so we're going to. You know what it is? We're going. It's Miami Beach, Fort Lauderdale. We're staying in a really nice hotel with the 3 pools, the private beach, the whole thing.
Just you guys or your whole family?
Well, me, Stacy, and the 2 kids. Samantha, the older one, will be in California with her best friend who got a Paramount
Nice picture, Tom.
internship. Yeah. So that's a great picture. That's
That's
a really
from,
good
do you know how
picture.
old that is? Nicole Murphy took that picture. She used to work here as a waitress.
Jesus,
and she was a
yeah.
photographer. She moved to California. I don't know if she's there or back in New York. But she took that picture. That was in my neighborhood. There's a park across the street in Forest Hills when I lived in Queens.
really?
Yes.
Right across the street from Austin Street. There was a little park, and we went over to that park and took pictures.
Yeah.
July 12th and 13th.
Nice.
Giggle Room on the 12th
That's
and the
my,
13th. I'll be in that brokerage.
Does that
in
mean the
Belmont.
show's over now?
No. We'll plug it again.
My mother's birthday is July 12th. Maybe that's a nice.
My birthday's July 13th.
Is
So
it? Oh, nice.
come out for my birthday bash.
I have my
July
mother's birthday is
13th.
July 12th, but I do have my cousin's wedding on the 13th. But maybe I'll bring my mom here for her birthday. Come
Yeah,
see
we'll
it
be in the
at
Giggle Room, so
Yeah.
get there early so you can
Yeah.
squeeze in.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you must be packed out for that show already, or pretty close.
I don't
to
even
it.
know. I don't don't call and ask.
And
Yeah.
then July 13th, where are you?
Brokerage.
At brokerage, nice.
Yeah. So
I'm
I'm
in,
excited.
I'm
That's
in-
like my home club to be there on my birthday is like tradition.
Oh, and are you rushing us today? Is that why you're posting these things?
No, I'm just.
Yeah.
I'm
Guys,
just
He's
doing us a
bored.
favor.
I'm
He's
just
bored with the
plugging.
conversation,
Yeah.
so he just needs something to do.
So this show, we've talked about it a couple of times. Stacy is running in the Chicago Marathon, and she's raising money.
Am I doing that show?
Yeah, well, if you can, I mean, I don't know if you're going to be around Thursday, August 8th.
Yeah, I got a day show, but I'll be home.
Yeah, I
I'll
mean,
be
it's
done
all-
with that by 1 o'clock.
I mean, I think Ange has you down.
I unfortunately am not going to be here.
Oh,
I
okay.
realize that's
That's fortunate for the audience.
Exactly,
Yeah.
thank God. But I'm gonna be in Asheville for the festival.
okay.
That I didn't
Okay.
realize.
All right. That's
so
okay.
August 8th, I'll be here for that.
So Half's going to be here. I actually reached out to the club the other day, see if they pop Tony up for 5 minutes.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, so that
And they-
looks like it's
they
going to
said
happen.
yes?
They haven't gotten back, and now they blocked my number.
I thought you said prop Tony up for a
no.
second.
No, you know what it was? They thought it was JJ Walker, so they said they wrote back Dynamite, and I'm like, that's great.
Right,
Tony's
that's
in.
good.
Tony's in.
Tony's good.
Tony's got to do blackface. That's,
But so I have 100 tickets that I need to sell for that show. It's 2 months
You'll
away.
sell that in
I've,
like
already-
a day.
I've sold 50 already.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
It's a Hershey show.
It's amazing the support I get.
Is that giggle room or main room?
No, I won't do the giggle room. You know that. I can't in there. I can't.
I've been
It drives me-
downgraded to the giggle. I remember doing a show out at the patio.
Yeah,
a
the
couple
patio I
summers
could
ago.
do. The giggle room, it's just.
But I did the
too
patio
much for
during
me.
when the carnival was out here.
oh, really? No,
Jesus.
wow. That must have
So I'm
been
fighting the
loud.
Ferris
Yeah,
wheel
yeah.
and the thing, and then you hear bang, you hear that thing go bang, whatever, and the audience keeps looking back, and I'm like, I remember when I used to play inside the building.
No, the giggle room is terrific. It's a great room. It's just I get a little claustrophobic in there, and especially if I have a packed out show and I have one buddy who's in a wheelchair. You know, like it's just a little bit, much to navigate sometimes if it's a packed out room. But one of your shows with 30, 40 people, plenty of room. It won't be-
Plenty of room for Monty shows.
Yeah,
Come
I did 2 shows there. We sold them out.
That's great. No, really, we've had good shows there before.
Yeah, yeah.
We had our one of Hershey and Keegs shows on
Yeah,
there.
Monty headlined that.
We
one
did.
for
We
us.
Yeah.
did the one with Irwin too.
And then with Irwin,
you know what? Monty.
Idris
Oh,
Elba.
please don't.
No, I'm just saying. Monty just said to me that he hasn't been on the show for a while. Well, that's because the last time he forced us to have fucking Idris Elba on the show. What was his name?
Well, surprise, Mark. Irving Lorax.
Arnold
Lorax.
Lawrence? Yeah.
I'm not gonna. Don't. He's picking on my friend now.
I
Come on.
just remember. Hold on. I remember it was back when this TV worked, though Tony had it going, where I looked up and I saw Arnold Lorax, and I saw in the back he had like 250 stuffed animals behind him. And
He's
I was
probably
like,
in his wife's room.
Yeah, but you remember that? And,
Yeah, no,
and
yeah,
he
yeah.
actually did talk about
Yeah,
it.
the gnome. They were gnomes, wasn't it?
I think
Little
gnomes or
Yeah.
something.
Hey,
Yeah.
he stayed awake. That's all I know.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. Frank the
plus.
Tank. Frank the Tank
Oh
was on.
my
He did
God
not stay
in
awake.
heaven.
I saw that episode.
Jesus
We had
Christ
to wake him up.
Almighty.
Yeah.
I mean, listen.
Hey, listen. We packed it out. Irwin actually filled half that room that
Yeah.
night.
No, it was a
No,
great
he
show.
didn't.
That was an awesome show.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
He did. He's from Long
He's a
Island.
large man.
He didn't pack shit out. It was us.
I
that
did
had the
another
people.
show there with Gene Trifilo. Were you guys on that one?
Oh, Gene's the
I
best.
love
man.
Crazy
Super
Gene.
Gene.
I'm working with him next week. We got a private event together. I did a show with him. I stay at his house, right? So I have
Gene.
a couple months ago, back in the winter, I had a gig in the afternoon and then a gig with him that night. So I said, hey dude, I'm gonna probably get a hotel in between on the way up to you because I'm gonna be exhausted. He goes, I'm working until 6:00. Go to my house. The door will be open. So I go to his house. He goes, I got the air conditioner on. It actually was in the spring, but his house was hot. He goes, I got the air conditioner on in my dad's room. Now his dad lives in a nursing home, so he goes, I put clean sheets on the bed. Go to sleep on that bed. There's a bathroom in that room. Take a shower if you want, whatever. I get to the room. There is a life-size statue of St. Francis. Right? That was probably his mother's because his mother's very religious.
Yeah.
And then he's got a big black cock sitting on the end table on purpose. You know he did that on purpose.
I know exactly.
Wait, you mean
Like a
A live human.
no, like
chicken? You mean a chicken?
like a paperweight, a funny paperweight that you put on your desk, but like this big, like the size of my hand, like a big thing, sitting like that with like something written on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, only Gene.
This wasn't a rooster then.
It wasn't a rooster.
Oh,
He is an
Gene is
interesting
the
cat
funniest
boy.
guy. That's hilarious.
I know. I remember when he met.
he pulled one over on me, but
Oh
good,
man, I know how you were texting me like, "Is this guy for real?" Is this guy?
Was it
That's a
when I
great
saw him at the
story.
Yankee game?
You
Was that
saw him
what
at
it
the
was?
baseball game, I think. Yeah.
So I
you
know
going?
that.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm moving your mic like this way.
All right, thank you very much.
You want me to move that way too?
No.
So nothing's been recorded, right? The whole time.
Let's start over. Welcome to the Hershey and
Because
Keegs
that
show.
way now, because it's killing your mother that your back is to Chris.
Oh, is it?
Oh,
right?
okay.
Oh,
Now-
God,
so
my,
now you-
Did
my
she
poor,
text you?
My
Right.
poor
She
mother.
commented, yeah.
Thank you,
Diane.
Mrs. Keegan.
Sorry,
She loves
Mom.
Monty.
I love you, Mrs. Keegan.
She loves. Yeah.
So what's going on, Mark?
I don't know. hey, Irvin, how you stuffed animals? Lorax, how you doing?
Lorax.
So
Gene's fun. One of my favorite Gene stories is John Ziegler was doing a show for Gene, and Gene always messes with the comics and everything. John Ziegler's doing a show for him. Night before the show, Gene calls up Ziegler. He goes, "Listen, John, tomorrow, big show. Former Vice President of the United States, Walter Mondale, is going to be in the audience, so please just dress nice."
He's pulled that on me, too.
Yeah. Please dress nice, because we want to really impress the guy.
Yeah.
Ziegler wears a 3-piece suit. I think he bought a suit.
Yeah.
Gets to the show. It's a shitty little bar show in Wappinger Falls.
That's where he lives.
With like 30 people in the audience. And obviously none of them are Walter Mondale. It's just a bunch of hicks from Fishkill, New York.
Oh, my God. That's so funny.
Ziegler's wearing his suit.
I only knew Meet and Gene from Facebook, and so we were friends on Facebook, and I knew he was friends with you guys, and I knew he was close with Monty.
I know him for over 20 years.
So this is a Yankee Stadium. This is like maybe 2 years ago, and I'm online with Max getting Japanese food at Yankee Stadium, and I happened to look like
traditional baseball fare.
Exactly. Max is getting, you know what it was? The Japanese food place in Yankee Stadium is called like Fucky or Fukeee or something like that.
What a dirty
Fuki.
show we have today.
So Max wanted that, so we got it.
Max wanted the
He wanted what the word said. He didn't want the lo mein.
He wasn't hungry at all. Exactly. He's like, "What? I thought we were getting fucky. I didn't know I was getting teriyaki chicken." He was only 11 at the time.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
Sick
I
bastard.
happen to look over about maybe 10 feet over, and I see a guy that looks like Gene Trifolo, but I've never met him before, but I've seen him on Facebook. And he's there with some hot broad.
Hooker.
Well, whatever she was,
No, definitely. He's only doing
100%.
So this, in retrospect, at first what happened, I eventually was angry about it, but looking back at it, it was brilliant. I introduced myself. I'm like, Gene, it's Mark Hirschman, the podcast, Monty. He's like, "Oh, what's up, man? How you doing? You're good friends with Monty." He goes, "I just worked with Monty the other day," and he's telling me this story about he's working with Monty, and then during the show, there was a man in the audience with a colostomy bag, and it exploded during the show. It's a colostomy bag, and people were sick over it, and the guy got rushed out of the hospital, and the show, and this whole thing. So I text Monty. I'm like, "Oh my God, you didn't tell me about this crazy thing. You guys had a
He's
show."
texting me, "Did this really happen?" He's telling me this, and then and Gene's texting me, "Your friend's a Jew."
Yeah. That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Yeah,
That's Gene.
You know
though.
Gene, everything is Jewish.
Every time I do a show for him, Mike, there's going to be 37 Hasidic Jews in the audience. They're all Jews.
But now
Mike.
I know when he texts me something or he Facebook messages me, I should say I know it's probably a gag. But at the
everything
time,
he says is
I was like, why this guy he carried on with the story, and I was biting on every word.
Literally,
he
the
lives
first time I met him, we're walking into a theater. We introduced each other, and outside the theater, "Hi, I'm Gene." He's very soft-spoken, clean cut.
Yeah.
"Hi, I'm Gene. Nice to meet you." We're walking in. He holds the door for me. He goes, "Hey, did you hear about Pat Sajak?" I go, "No, what? They found him hanging in his hotel room." I'm like, "What? Now I'm Googling, did Pat Sajak kill
I
himself?"
think he said Pat
And he-
Sajak. I'm like,
I had a speech impediment there for a second.
He'll
Pat
just call me.
You
Sajak.
heard that Pat Sajak changed his name to Pat Sajak? And now he's hanging in his hotel room?
That's what he likes to do. That we were down in Virginia for Irving Ambox.
Yeah.
And a couple years back before the pandemic. And so after the show, we're like, "Where's there to eat?" And they're like, "Oh, there's a Hooters like down the block. So all right, let's go to Hooters. I'm hungry.
Yeah,
I want to get
sure.
wigs." So we go to Hooters, and the girls. Once he sees girls,
Yeah.
with
He
boobs,
loves girls.
He loves women.
Yeah.
So the waitresses, we got a cute waitress, nice rack. He's there. He's like, he looks at her and he goes, "Hey, what do you think of my hair?" And she goes, "It's nice." He goes, "I got the plug job. I got the whole plug job." He goes, "Can you tell?" And she goes, "No, it looks wonderful." He goes, "You want to know the secret?" She goes, "What?" He goes, "Camel ass hair." He goes, "Never falls out, grows back very thick." He goes, "Run your hands through it. Run your hands through it." And she's like, "I don't know." And I'm like, I'm laughing. I'm like, this guy he never stops.
The best. I remember I'm sitting there, and like I said, he's a very clean-cut, soft-spoken guy. I'm sitting there. He goes, "Hey, Mike, look at this picture," and it's a filthy pictures of things of him.
Oh,
him
yeah.
prostitutes.
awful. Oh, I've never seen anything
and it was
like it.
filthy.
Yeah.
He'll send
And-
pictures of his turds.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
He sends me
Yeah.
a lot of pictures of the shits that he takes, and
Yeah.
then
Nice.
so we're doing I'm doing a show
Nice.
with him like 2 months ago.
Hi,
and-
Emily.
and it was, I'm doing a show with Gene like 2 months ago. It's me, Carla, and Gene. And I'm on stage, and Carla was telling me, she's like, "You're on stage," and Gene goes, "Hey, I want to show you something on the phone, Carla." And she goes, "No, Mike already told me not to look at your phone." He goes, "Fucking Keegan."
Well, does he show naughty pictures to like female comics?
I
also
think
that
he
can
was
get him-
about to.
Yeah, he does. He
Oh,
sends
wow.
pictures to the girls that he sleeps with, that he pays to sleep with. He sends them
No,
pictures.
but this
he
is
sends
this
me
is his
pictures.
friend's wife, though. I mean, no friend's
Yeah,
girlfriend.
no.
You know,
But he's
You
the
know what's
best
so
guy.
funny? Nice guy when he's whatever. So he's at my house, and we did the giggle room here that time, right? He comes down to do the giggle room with me.
okay. So the kids are born already.
Yeah,
Emily,
I don't think Emily was here yet.
Okay.
My wife is pregnant.
Okay, so
but
maybe-
anyway, he goes, "Listen, Monty, it's a Friday night." He goes, "I gotta leave early. I live in Fishkill. Can I come to you?" I said, "Come to my house. Get to my house." He goes, "What time am I gonna get to my house?" He goes, "Can I get to your house at 5:00?" I'll get to my house at 5:00. I'll order us a couple of pizzas.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know, we'll go do the show because the show was at 7:30 or whatever.
Sure, of course.
So he comes to my house. We got pizza. My dad's over. My sister's over because my wife is gonna come to the show with us, and so I had them come over to babysit. So I come over early, have pizza with us.
have some pizza.
Nice. He's making my sister laugh her ass off. He's making my father laugh. My wife's like, "Oh, this Gene is so funny." She gets here. She watches his act. She comes. We're driving home. She goes, "I don't like his act one iota." She goes, "I love him in person, but on stage, he's an asshole."
Wow,
Because he was dirty. He was talking about shits and stuff like that.
wow.
Oh, he's the bad love.
He's a
Gene.
good dude.
I
I'll
love
see
Gene.
him
the
next
nicest
week.
guy in the world.
That's
He takes
awesome.
great care of his father.
He'll give you the shirt off his father's back.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. Shirt off the back. I didn't want to be remiss and forget. So we've talked about the store Buc-ee's. Probably the only one that's ever been to a Buc-ee's. Have you ever been to a Buc-ee's?
No.
But you've been to a Buc-ee's probably on the road. So, long story short,
Sounds
for
familiar.
those who don't know, Tony has a fan of, maybe the fan of his show, sent last year these unbelievable chocolate peanut butter creations from this store Buc-ee's.
They were like
And-
Reese's peanut butter cups, but they were like this
yeah,
big.
packed with a pound of
Sandwiches?
peanut butter.
Oh,
It's
my
ridiculous. And then we eventually learned that Buc-ee's is this place that they have in Tennessee, the Carolinas, Texas,
The closest
Florida.
one's in like Ohio.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
be. They have one in Myrtle Beach. I'm gonna be down there.
I'm
in
sure they
August.
do. Yeah,
they
I'm
do.
sure they do.
I'll bring you back
And
a
it's-
case of Reese's.
Yeah.
It's a supermarket. It's a shopping mall. It's a hardware. It's everything, right?
Gas
I mean, from
station,
what we
yeah.
understand. So last year during Christmas, my friends Karen and Bobby, who I went to high school with, they brought me home a Buc-ee's life-size blow-up Christmas float.
Are they gonna say blow up something else?
Yeah, a blow-up Bucky doll. So they brought me that, and then as you can see, Tony's putting it on the screen now. They came home with a shirt for me the other day from Buc-ee's, and it's a great shirt. It's a Bucky Beaver. I love tie-dye. I love the Bucky Beaver. I love the colors of this shirt. So thank you to Wonk, and thank you to Bobby. We appreciate it. I appreciate it. I love the shirt. And shout out to Buc-ee's. Maybe we can get a little like advertisement situation going with Buc-ee's. What do you think?
Yeah, a little
that
sponsor.
possible?
Look at that.
Yeah, they're like, let me advertise in a state that we don't have locations.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I was saying we were driving to when I was driving with Max to Pennsylvania for a basketball
They have 'em out
tournament
there?
last month. No, I'm driving and I see a humongous sign that says Buc-ee's and it has how many miles it is. I'm like, oh my God, there's a Buc-ee's. It said Buc-ee's 561 miles. So this just shows you how people look. It's a destination. The sign was trying to tell me that 560 miles from 250 miles away in Pennsylvania, so what, 800 miles total?
So it's in like Indiana.
Or it might have been in the Carolinas at that point, I'm
Yeah,
assuming,
could
if
be
we were
anywhere.
going that way, you know?
Follow the arrow.
Yeah, so when you're in Myrtle Beach, you're going to be near a
We
Buc-ee's.
can Google it right now.
Yeah, you're going to be near.
We live in a world of technology
Yeah, that's
at our
right.
fingertips.
Yeah,
That's it.
exactly.
I mean, you know,
so that's
look,
important.
Pat Sajak just hung himself in his.
Oh, Pat Sajak
Pat
just
Sajak.
killed-
Sajak.
Pat Sajak did.
I had a stroke while I was telling that story.
Can someone give a quick update since the people are watching us in the middle of a Stanley Cup final game? Can someone give me a quich score update?
It is 4-2 Oilers right now.
Oh wow. You know what that means now,
They're
don't
going
you?
back to Edmonton.
Have you guys seen this? The Oilers fan on Twitter, when they scored a goal, this lady pulled up her jersey and she showed her miraculously large
Her
tatas.
booba lubs?
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Yeah. Wow. So it's interesting. She made like her own little TikTok or Instagram
saw that
reel.
today, yeah.
Not as hot as she was.
Yeah, hotter
yeah.
in the picture. The picture was a little bit blurry.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, but
She
she had
could
very
u-
nice breasts.
She could use some blur. Number
Yeah.
one, the more blur, the better for that face.
Her voice
okay?
made her more unattractive.
You know, they
I'll
drink a
say
lot in
that.
Canada.
Oh,
exactly.
she's definitely a drinker. She said that they were absolutely 100% fake, which also took because when she lifted the shirt up, and they, usually if a woman, it's like,
What is it like?
Maybe in your house.
yeah, no, not my house, but just it was, there's some,
Yes,
there's
I know
some-
what you mean.
There's some floppage.
There's
you know
some
what I mean?
floppage.
There was
There's action. There's a little action.
It just she lifted it up and they were just like
Perky as anything.
two toy soldiers.
Right.
You know what I mean? Nothing happened at all. There was nothing like that at all. So if the Oilers are up, there's a good chance that we can't really post that. Oh, what you got there? You got Tennessee. Oh, you're right. So there's 37 in Texas, 4 Buckies in Alabama, 2 in Tennessee, and 2 in Florida.
There's none in Myrtle Beach. There's none in South Carolina.
Oh, wait a second. It
It
says
says
that there's-
one in South Carolina.
That's probably
Yeah.
close
But it
one,
could be
yeah.
far. Myrtle Beach is on the East Coast. So
Well, it says-
northeast.
Well, now they just opened one in Mebane, North Carolina. I don't even know if I'm saying that right.
Mebane, North Carolina.
Mebane, Mebane.
Well, I'm going to a town on Thursday in Pennsylvania, spelled Dubois. What would you say?
Dubois.
Dubois.
Right.
Well, only because I grew up around the block from Dubois Avenue in Valley Stream.
Okay,
That's how I
but
know
in
that.
Pennsylvania, it's Dubois.
Du Bois.
And if you say Dubois, they're like, it's Dubois. They're
Yeah.
like, no, you're an idiot. You
Get the
don't
fuck out, Trump hater. FJB. Fuck you, Brandon.
We do boys here.
Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah.
Du Bois.
It's so funny.
Right?
Yeah. Well, anyway, come see me at Luigi's.
Wait, so your gig, it's a weekend gig or just
No,
one
just
night?
Thursday night. We're doing a special event this Thursday. I did radio this morning for them.
Wait, so you're going down to North Carolina for
No,
one?
no,
This is
Pennsylvania.
Oh, Pennsylvania. So it's in Du Bois. How far is it?
It's a ride.
Like 400?
5 hours.
Oh, so it's like 250
Hotel.
miles.
Nice hotel.
Okay.
I'll be back Friday morning because Friday morning my daughter graduates at the end of her pre-K, getting ready for
So
kindergarten.
what time are you going to
Congratulations.
leave? It's the crack of dawn.
Well, I got to be at the school at 1:30. It's the last half hour of the day. So,
All right, so you leave by- you should
I'll
get up
leave
by
I'll
6.
leave at 6:30 in the morning.
Just to make sure you get home in time.
Yeah, because you'll always hit traffic once you get to
Yeah.
the GW.
I would say up at 6, go and do what you got to do. Get yourself a little,
Dude,
some biscuits and grits.
I'm a cup of coffee and I'll stop at Dunkin' Donuts
Yeah.
for the avocado toast.
There you go.
Oh,
that's it.
The avocado toast at Dunkin' Donuts.
On the
is-
everything
Good.
toast.
It's so
what?
good at Dunkin'
What is
Donuts.
with
Yeah.
that?
I know. It's never crunchy though.
No, it's not.
I like.
but
I'm a crunchy toast guy.
Yeah.
those new breakfasts at Dunkin' Donuts. There's what's the other one? There's a sourdough. I mean,
Yep.
I'm not eating like that right now. In this
No,
point,
I'm
but,
not either. Only when I'm on the road.
But the sourdough sandwich. you ever
Hey,
had
on that advertisement, Tony, does it have the brokerage too? I always see the gig room. Maybe I'm missing the brokerage for the 13th. I'm just asking. I didn't see it.
Come on.
Come on. Hey, how
Who do you think
doing?
you're talking to
Who
here?
you talking to?
Yeah. How you doing? So everyone's busy. You guys got a lot of shit coming up. A lot of stuff coming up. Keegs has a
good
Mike
stuff.
Keegan and Friends. How's that show selling right
Friday
now?
night selling really well.
Where at? Giggle?
Brokerage.
At brokerage?
Friday
Okay.
night, 8 p.m. at the brokerage.
Oh, good. Maybe I'll do a spot.
It's good. Yeah. Come down
No.
if you're around. I think Downey's gonna come down and do a spot.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good show. That girl, Allegra Barnett, she was on Kevin Can Wait.
You know
She
who
was
Allegra
a stand-in.
Barnett is?
Oh, yeah,
she's great.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
cool.
gonna come do a spot.
That's gonna be a good show. Good
so
for you.
well, yeah. We have like over
Well,
100.
she worked like in production on that show, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She might have gotten a role or two here.
Well, she was
and
a
there, but-
stand-in, and then she was in one episode.
Okay.
Yep.
But she's really, really funny. It's gonna be a great show.
Friday night's the
Friday
feast.
night, 8 o'clock. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, is that right?
And I'm off. I'm working Thursday, Saturday, and then like a bunch of days next week. So I'm. My wife's like, if you're off Friday, we're taking the girls to the feast.
Wait, San Gennaro?
St.
No.
Rocco's?
In Belrose, there's a church called St. Gregory's.
Oh, okay.
Which my wife's not Catholic. She won't go to Catholic church with me. She only goes to Lutheran church, but she goes to the feast because
Right.
the Lutherans don't have a feast.
The Lutherans don't go with Zeppelis. That's
Yeah.
what it comes down
Yeah,
to.
and
Lutherans
they
make the
do
worst
theme
Zeppeli.
nights, and the opening night is Italian night. So that's why we
Oh.
always go Italian night because there'll be good sauce and peppers, and there'll be good. There'll be wine,
man.
and there'll be an Italian singer.
I'm gonna cancel my show. That's it.
Yeah.
I'll get you bagels there, please.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
But
Very
yeah.
good.
Yeah, Friday night will be fun. It's the 8 o'clock show at the brokerage. Tickets
Yeah.
on sale still. We've got over 100 tickets sold already, but like,
Wow.
Don't
yeah.
wait, get your
Mikey.
tickets
But get
because that
'em,
fills up. It's
get 'em. It's gonna
180
fill up.
seats, right?
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
it's going to fill up.
Good.
You'll get last
very
minute
shortly.
walk-ins, too.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
good. Very good. I did some show research. I've been listening to the people, and they like when we talk about some things in the news, some weird but trues. So I did a little research that I wanted to bring up. Well, especially
Finally, it's only been 2 years you've been on here.
This is special that people like they want to hear us talk about things like this. And with Montroni coming on the show today, the first story that I studied that I thought was going to appeal to this crowd, meaning the three of us and Tony, these are all real. These are all legit, by the way. These are not made up. These are not
I
fabricated.
can't wait to hear what you think that we'd like to talk about.
Exactly.
So the first one is that a new study shows that African elephants
Go ahead.
A new study shows that African elephants call each other by unique names. That they have. What? I don't want. That's just you're laughing at the setup.
What's up, my pachyderm?
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Like, here comes fat ass. Like, what are they? What do you think that they're doing? Like, they apparently they have like a language, just like
All animals could speak
Well, I'm
to
just
each other.
saying, like, I'm sure when animals hear us talk, they're like, are they communicating? Like, they're communicating in their own way. So they're having names for each other.
How do you say the N word in elephant?
No.
Okay.
No, what I'm saying is, do you think they have like derogatory, like if one of the elephants happens to like lose weight and fall below what the threshold of what an elephant should be?
Yeah,
like look at this fucking bulimic
Yeah,
prick.
exactly.
Oh, if he loses a tooth, a tusk, they make fun of his missing tooth. And here comes Snaggletooth.
That's it. Here comes Gumby with his. Do you think that's what's happening, Mikey?
I think so.
That might be what's
think so,
happening.
Yeah.
'cause-
So that's
But,
that's a true story, Tone. I feel like you thought I was.
Where'd you find that? Reader's Digest?
I was opening an old the pages stuck together because there was some pictures of some African women topless, but I peeled it and I found the story. Yeah.
What else you got?
This one is a good one, actually. This one is a really
African
good one.
elephants actually don't like to go in the water.
No, because he does this. Like,
He does this all the time.
So here's the thing. What I think about this, and listen, we've had varying levels of success with this show. We've had some of our stuff has had thousands of views, especially some of the TikToks, Instagrams, when we've had some guests on. But if we ever really hit, like, no one gave a shit about Shane Gillis until he was going on Saturday Night Live. And then they went and they did a deep dive and they found every single little thing that potentially could ruin his career.
Yeah.
Right.
And what they found
You
of
don't
Shane
need to
Gillis,
deep dive on this show.
No, we do not.
All you got to do is watch last week's episode.
Any episode you want.
So what you got to do
watch.
is edit out Keegan's comments.
That's right.
Just mute it out and put something in like
They
Japanese.
found
Exactly.
an episode of something that Gillis was on like 10 years ago where he said something derogatory about Asians. Okay? Well, that's pretty much every episode for you. So
Yeah.
I guess I should be worried about like if you ever land SNL or
You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
No.
it's not something.
We're
to
already,
worry about.
we're all of us are already too old for that
no.
show.
Exactly.
But Mike, just like you have grown over the years comedically, your career has grown. Mikey has taken his game to another level as well.
I complimented it on that
Yeah.
last time we were here. I said
Thank
how
you. Yeah.
he's become so polished and
Yeah.
Thank you
such a
very
great
much.
performer. I mean,
Yeah, and that is to me, it's just repetition and it's hard work and it's being out there because you're the same comic that from years ago, but you're definitely more in tune with the audience. You definitely are having more fun than you used to.
Oh, yeah.
And you have gotten to a point where you headline sometimes. You're a feature act for some really good acts and. Again, if things go if you hit it, chances are it's going to be ruined by something that happened on the show.
Talking about African elephants.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're just going to say. Just something is probably
The
going to
N-word.
happen. Yes.
And then, so what's the next thing? It's about Asian baboons.
Hold on one second.
well, you have jokes lined up for
I
that.
have a few.
This is a true story.
Why'd that clock stop?
No, that's just how it feels. That's it.
I feel like time's standing still. When's this fucking show over?
No, we usually feel that when it says 11 after, not 52.
Why you have military time on the wall? It's so confusing.
It went back to regular time, and now it's military time again.
Every time I try to fix it, it just stays on it.
And listen, if you want something fixed, don't ask Tony. Okay.
You got phones in front of you. It's got the time on it.
You're right.
So go ahead, do your last news clip.
This is another true story, a weird but true story. There's a woman who has sued Geico. She's demanding Geico pay her $1 million after she had contracted an STD in her partner's car. So she's suing Geico because she contracted the STD in the vehicle.
Geico doesn't cover that.
Well, she called up and they're like, "You want to make a claim, lady?" Yes, an accident. Would you happen to blow out? She said, "No, chlamydia. I got chlamydia."
Was there somebody else in the car, or was there just like a puddle of AIDS?
No, we're not talking about your car. We're talking about...
It wasn't her car.
She was in her partner's car.
Her partner's car.
Her partner, the
sex partner.
Whatever you call
Is she a
it.
cop?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But the point is that she's suing for $1 million because she contracted
She's gonna win.
STD. Yeah.
She's going to win.
Listen, if every time somebody was able to sue for $1 million for contracting something in a car, Keegan would be a fucking billionaire.
I got a story for you.
Yes, sir.
And I don't know if you guys, this is just from being on the road. And
Yeah.
it's first time it happened to me was a couple of months ago. I check into a hotel.
Yes, you
this
do.
This is something that they do at hotels now that I was unaware of. I wonder if you guys are aware of this.
Yes.
So I check into the hotel.
Sure you do.
And the check-in person or whatever says, "Hey, just so you know, we have to do a wellness check on you tomorrow." And I said, "What does that mean? Like you're going to take my temperature for COVID?"
Right.
We're past that.
Yeah.
And he says, "No. Somebody's either going to come to your room and knock on the door, or we're going to call you to make sure that you're okay."
Yes.
And I said, I paused for a second. It's true. They do this. They do this at hotels now.
Yeah.
So I paused and I said, how many people had to die in this hotel for this to become part of your regular, repertoire?
Yeah.
And the guy just looks at me and he goes, "You'd be surprised," right? So I was at the Mohegan Sun when this happened in Pennsylvania, not in Connecticut.
The Wilkes-Barre one?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I go down to the showroom. I'm telling one of the other comics about this. I said, you guys get this news about the wellness check? Like, what's going on?" So it's happened to me twice where they say to me when I check in, people die in hotels all the time. And,
Yeah.
So I get to the show. And the MC says to me, "Well, last year a guy must have lost a lot of money, tried to commit suicide in his room." I said, "What'd he do?" She says, "He took a bottle of pills, then he set the bed on fire."
Holy shit.
Oh, wow.
And got in the bed.
Yeah.
But here's what happens. The sprinkler system went off.
Fucking ruins everything.
Put the bed out. They get to his room. They take him out. They find out what happens. They pump his stomach. He's alive now the next day.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, trying not to be an asshole, but I'm like, just think about that guy the next day. Wakes up in the hospital. His lawyer comes in. He's like, "Hey, we just got the bill from the damage to the hospital.
Yeah.
Think you wanted to kill yourself last night." But I just wonder if you were aware of the wellness checks. Have
I'm
you
not,
encountered that? You may get it when you go to Florida to the resort.
Well, I'm going to be at Mohegan Sun in 2 weeks at that Wilkes-Barre.
No, now, nobody, I don't know if I wasn't there or I missed the call, but I didn't get the wellness check. Like, nobody came to my door.
They tell you they're going to give you a wellness check.
But that's actually it. I used to know somebody in the hotel industry, and apparently...
Sure you did.
Well, all right. Well, it was Sally. Sally used to work.
Yeah.
She used to work.
That's
in
why the
hotel
ratings are
industry.
down on your
Yeah.
show.
Well,
Bring
yeah.
back Sally.
Absolutely right. And that's the thing. People don't want their loved ones to find them.
Yeah.
So they'll check into hotels. Suicide
Either
rates
Either
are very high in
that,
hotels.
and like you said, gamblers, addicted gamblers that are probably also addicted
Yeah.
to substance. They lose a lot of money. That's over. I can't,
Yeah.
because I listen to Craig Carton's, "Hello, my name is Craig" every Saturday morning, and as a gambler.
Yes.
You listen to those stories,
Sure.
and we've never been to that, but there's moments where we're like, I can't go home. I can't go home right now. I can't go home.
To quote Chris Roach.
So poor Consuela has to find you.
Yeah. Are you dead?
Housekeeping, you alive?
Mr. Monty, are you dead? Muerto? Mr. Monty.
Oh, Senor Hirschman.
You think it's possible that they have a familiarity with you and your 12 whiskeys, and they were just making sure that it was that you know what?
It could be my
Everybody else in the hotel was like, no, they didn't tell us about a wellness check.
Everyone else around the lobby is like, they don't do that.
Yeah. Tell them they do it for everyone. Yeah, sure.
The people behind the counter are like,
Could have been just me.
this fucking guy believes this shit.
I'm going to be there in 2 weeks. I hope they do give me a
They'll do it
wellness
for you
check.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you friends with Monty? Because we do these wellness checks.
You're the guy that hits Tony Luke's at 3 a.m., aren't you?
Exactly.
Senor Keegan, are you the
Well,
muerto?
that's one of the places we get $15 off at dinner. At
Senor.
Tony Luke's.
Tony Luke's.
Senor, are you dead in there?
No, you know where you got to go? You got to go to the, what's it called? The something, we know the old comedy club?
Yeah.
When you walk down to that restaurant on the left
The
side.
Italian place?
No, it's like a bar, lounge.
Okay, yeah.
They got-
Bar Louie?
Bar Louie, I think
Yeah,
it
that
is. Yeah, they
place.
got good food. I always get
Yeah.
a takeout and just bring it back to
Bar
the room.
Louie is great.
Yes. Monty, can you do us, the thing that I like most? I mean, I have worked with you many times and seen you, and I kind of sit through it through the act because I want to get to the I want to get to the street jokes. Let's close the show with a couple of classic. And for people who are not knowledgeable of this, Monty's got a TikTok page that has a lot of followers because of this. Obviously, not his actual material, but
Just two guys
street
walking into a
jokes.
bar. Jokes like that.
Do it.
Right?
Let's go. Oh, you know what? The joke I love.
Which one?
The joke about the guy who brings the wife flowers, and he brings the flowers, and he. Oh God! You told me
Hate
this one.
people like this.
She's
No.
on the couch with the skirt.
Yes.
That one?
Yeah. Tell
You
it.
sure? You should know that one?
Yeah.
The guy goes to his girlfriend's house with flowers.
That one.
And she brings him inside.
Yeah.
And she gets him on the couch and she lifts up her skirt and she's not wearing underwear. And she goes, "This is for the flowers." And he goes, "You don't have a vase." That joke you like?
Love it.
No, my new favorite joke is well, there's a couple of them. There's a guy walking down a desert and he sees a lamp, so he picks up the lamp. The old joke, right? He wipes off the lamp and a genie pops out, and the genie says, "Thank you for setting me free. I'll grant you any 2 wishes that you desire." And the guy goes, "Don't I get 3 wishes?" And the genie goes, "Look down your pants." He looks down his pants. He goes, "Oh my God, I'm huge." The genie goes, "I've been doing this a long time."
I like it.
That is good.
What's with that awkward close up?
Yeah, really?
Wow.
It's terrifying.
People are watching, wondering why there's a toucan on the screen.
They're like, are they still talking about African animals?
Somebody call governors. There's an anteater inside the
Come on,
room.
Tony. That's so disrespectful. Now I'm not coming on your show. You like that?
Because of the nose.
Right. Exactly.
There's a nose with a hat on it.
Nope. No, it's still big. Could you go further?
Take it away. Take it away.
Do you have a very distant lens? That's it.
Oh, that's funny.
One more big one. Let's close it out with a big street joke.
Let's see. Guy he buys a nice fedora hat, right? Speaking of hats, he buys a beautiful fedora hat. He looks good in the hat. It was very expensive. He had to save up to buy it.
Yes.
He walks down the street, tipping his hat. He's doing really well with the ladies, right?
Yeah.
Hat looks good on him. He loses the hat. He gets so mad. He don't have no money to buy another hat. So he's like, you know what? Screw it. I'm not going to buy another hat. I'm going to go to church on Sunday. And while everybody's in the mass, I'm going to go to the coat room and I'm going to steal a hat. So he goes to church on Sunday. But before he goes to the coat room, he tips into the church. He sits in the last pew and he listens to the sermon for a few minutes. And the priest recites the 10 Commandments. The guy has a change of heart. Nothing happens. He leaves the church. He walks over to the priest. He goes, "Father, I have to tell you something. You saved me today." And the priest goes, "How so?" He says, "Well, I had a very expensive hat, and I loved that hat, and I lost it. And I was so mad that I lost it, I came here with intentions of stealing. But I sat in the church, and I listened to you say the 10 Commandments, and when you said, 'Thou shalt not commit adultery,' I remembered where I left my hat."
Yes, that's the kind of shit I wanted today.
That's the best. That's the
it.
Why don't we start with that instead of going into African elephants calling each other
exactly.
nicknames?
Yeah. That's great.
That is
That's
great.
really good.
That's
Well,
a good
finally
one.
we got a laugh out of you. That's good.
Come see me July 12th at the Giga Room,
That's
July
it. Go
13th at the Brokerage in Belmore, my birthday party. All hanging out. We're going to have a good time at the 13th.
govs.com for Monty's show.
Tickets
And
on
this
sale
Friday.
right now.
.com.
This Friday here at the
Mikey.
brokerage.
For my show, August 8th at Governors, I have the tickets, so you're going to contact me. You guys can Facebook me or you can text me. And Tony, the Magical Mystery Tour, what do you got for yourself there, buddy?
September 27th at the Brokerage. September 28th, a game show in the Giga Room. December 21st at McGuire's.
Anything further?
Anything in 25.
Yeah, that's it. All right, folks. We had a lot of fun with you tonight. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Chris Monty, for coming out.
Thank you for having me, girls.
We always get some new Monty fans watching, so we hope you keep on watching because we do have a lot of laughs every week, and we appreciate it.